Hello, everybody. It is your Uncle Fish back again for School Fish Art Stream. J-Man wants a Gatling gun on the end of his tail. Oh my goodness. J-Man says the tail's where you put all the heavy artillery. Damn. Said he used to have a howitzer on the end of his tail. Hello, hello, hello. What is up, Kyron? Glad you're here. Man, thank you for helping me get my TikTok shop set up. I appreciate that. I got my first sale last night. Woke up to it at 2 o'clock in the morning because young fish don't sleep no more. Something crazy, man. My brain's messed up. But anyway, I got my first sale last night. I got um I've got the reward going out for the physical backers on Patreon this month, which is the variant cover that I did for Danny with Virgil and Ace Blade tearing it up on the cover. He gave me several copies of that. So that's going out to the physical backers on the Patreon. I got one that I signed to go back to Danny. And then I've got my first order. So that's awesome. I'm excited about that. Um, it's super cool. Excited to be making sales and doing stuff. Finally got it figured out. Got the whole shipping thing worked out this morning, which threw me for a loop for a second there. I wasn't exactly sure what they were expecting out of me, but it worked. And got it all printed out, got it all stuck on. Need to get a better label printer. I got to invest in that than just printing on the printer and taping over it. But yeah, things are starting to work out. Also, on the live stream yesterday, you were there for it, but I got three of the uh that one's from my daughter-in-law right there with me and KAAW, and getting the sketch covers done up. I got one more of those to do, and I should have them off in the mail tomorrow. Well, some of them in the mail. Two of them are going to people I actually know who live around here. Um, and I've been working. Man, I've been working on so much stuff, dude. I'm telling you, I've got man, I got a couple of pages left that I've got the edits on now. I got a couple of pages that I need to fix on the source book, and it'll be ready to go to print. I've got to get this newspaper strip finished for a kid in a comic, so that it can go out. And it's not this next one, but it's the one after that. And I'm 5 pages in so far on the second issue of KAAW, and today I'm gonna be working on page 6 on the show. So let me move a couple of things around so they're out of the way, and let me grab ye old script and move it over here to this other screen so as I can see what I was doing. 'Cause it ain't no good if you can't see what you're doing. Hey, I print and tape my shipping labels also. I use the tape to help secure the Gemini box. And that's something that I started doing, and I want to get some little stickers made up that explain exactly what I'm doing and why. I started let's see, let me get one that I wrote it on. One of them I wrote it on the inside. I started putting these little messages on the back saying that this box was lovingly recycled to prevent excess waste in landfills. And I want to get some little stickers made up that say that because I get like two or three, four of these a week sometimes. Not all of them are in good shape. Some of them are really tore up. Some of them are wet. Some of them are chewed up. Like some of them are in really bad shape. A lot of them are in really good shape. And I realized at one point I was throwing away and burning because we live in the country. I was burning an awful lot of these. And I was like, you know what? The ones that are in good shape, I'm gonna start cleaning up and recycling and reusing them. And for so long, I've shipped maybe, I don't know, 6 books a year. I don't ship a lot of stuff out of here, and when I do, it's usually like a pack of everything or something. But I haven't been shipping a whole lot of books because like FSK's been doing my shipping and whatnot up until now, or the books I've done have been for other people and I'm not shipping those out. But now that I'm moving over to doing more of my own books and I'm going to be shipping that stuff out, I'm going to have to break down and start buying more mailers in bulk. But up until now, I've been able to reuse them. And to me, I think it's a smart thing to do to help reduce waste. I'm not just trying to be cheap, but it's a lot of cardboard to be thrown away for a one use thing that's built really sturdy. And if it got to me in good shape, I want to reduce some of that waste and reuse it and not just throw it away to turn around and buy another one. Like that's just wasteful. I got real issues with plastic packaging and stuff too. That really kind of bugs me. Single use throwaway lifestyle. It bugs you, Uncle Fishy. Do you know that kind of stuff bugs me? And you gonna get me up on a soapbox again? Because that's what a Chiron does. I've been putting my cardboard in our recycling bin. See, we don't really got a good recycling bin thing around here. I mean, we got a little bit of recycling around here, but it's not great, and so much of it goes to waste. And I if I can personally reuse it like that and have it, come out nice, I'm gonna do that. But I'm thinking about making some stickers specifically for that, so explains this was done with purpose. This wasn't done, you know, because I'm cheap, or I didn't mess up the first time I taped your box and then tore it open. Like, and I've also learned, like, how to use a hair dryer and stuff to heat up the tape and make it come off easier, make the whole thing cleaner. But anyway, it's something I started doing. Since you're Kyron, and you're my buddy, I'm gonna give you a little sneaky peeky here at some of what's been going on in this issue of KAAW. The Hellhounds of Hyperspace from the tail end of issue one have finally caught up with him. He was slaughtering some more crewmen, and the Hellhounds have caught up with him in the midst of beating up one of these last crewmen in this room. And he's got the crewman by the ankles, like, "Oh, you seem busy. I can just get out of your way." And then he just starts to whomp on the monsters with this dude like a club. Oh my god, I love it so much. What'd you think of first issue, man? Why? Serious opinion. What'd you think of it, man? I'd love to. Actually, yeah, I would love to hear what you say. I was thinking I ought to just send you a freaking link and have you drop in and hang out with me. And if anybody else shows up, then that's cool. If not, me and old Kyra can hang out and talk for a little bit. I figured you probably did. It doesn't kiss the 1% butt as much as you probably used to. Uh-huh. I got that too. Vito, Delzani messaged me right after he read it, and he's like, "Dude, where's issue 2? I need it now." Which is awesome. That's what you want. Oh, no, it wasn't Vito, it was, Henri, yeah, because Vito is, editing this one for me. I made a mistake. I apologize. But yeah, having Henri Compton hit me up and be like, "Dude, that was awesome. Freaking loved it." And knowing like how many books that dude sells, that means a lot that he dug it. So then Ka gets attacked by the Hellhound and they got these long spiked tongues. It wraps its spiked tongue around his arm and thinks that it's got him and it's gonna pull him in and eat him. And he's like, "Oh yeah? You think you're strong enough to eat me? Oh, let's give it a shot," and just starts wrapping his arm up in this tongue until he gets right up in the beast's mouth with his feet on his teeth, and then is like, rip, yanks that tongue right out of his mouth. It's fun stuff, man. I'm digging this book. It's so violent. Why's everybody gotta be so? That's what they say. Why's everybody gotta be so mean? Alrighty. Now I know what I want to happen on the next page. Look at my script, and I know where I need to get from. He's got the tongue. I need the two beasts to gang up on him. I need him to whip them with their own tongue, and then I need the second in command to show up and start blasting at him, which is a lot. That's a lot to happen in one page. That's awesome, man. I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, Vito was telling me, he's like, "Yeah, I can't believe I slept on this book first time around." He's like, I'm not really a swords and sorcery kind of guy so much, but man, I really missed out. This is cool." And and I was like, I get it because like as much as there are parts I love about Conan, like your average swords and sorcery comic kind of bores me usually. They're usually, kind of slow and I don't know, just doesn't float my boat. But the savagery of Conan I dig. The ruthless selfishness of Conan, the his ruthless ability to look out for himself first, I dig in Conan because it's so foreign to what you see in most comic books, like Batman's not like that, Superman's not like that. And that was really interesting to me. And the fact that he could be a king or he could be a thief, it didn't really matter. He was still Conan and he was looking out for himself. And I found that very interesting. Um, so all right. Anyway, I'm just gonna sit here and keep talking about Conan. Uh, I need to start laying out some panels, or at least trying some layouts, because I've been having to go back and redo a few on this, and like, yeah, no, that's not quite what I wanted, and do it again. And these two, 4 and 5, are facing pages, so they kind of sort of play off each other, but not really. They got similar kind of angled shapes with the battle going on, and I kind of want this to be powerful too. I want it to kind of have some energy to it, but I don't want it to be too crazy. I'm trying to think through what I'm going to do in my head here. You know what? I don't normally do it this way, but I'm going to do it this way this time. And I'm going to, where's my stop? There it is. I'm going to try sketching them out first instead of just laying out the panels and see what I think about it. And let's see, we end right there. I don't want to start on the next page with that same scene. Don't want to start with that exact same image from that same angle. So, but I do want to show both of the beasts are together now, teaming up on him. Okay. I thought I had it in his wrong hand there. 'Cause he was just stepping on one of their eyeballs a minute ago, so I want that one to have some jacked up eyes. And the other one needs to clearly be like spitting out blood. So I'm gonna turn him so that he's facing down lower here and make him a little smaller and a little further away. Have him spitting out blood. Biggins here come to check on his mate or teammate or whatever this is. I don't know. Maybe they're mates. Maybe they're not. Maybe it's Mabel. I make that joke too much. Okay, there we go. That'll work. And then I can stick him over here. I tell you, it seemed like such a great idea to have one hand tied behind his back the whole time. It is a pain in the butt to have to draw that all the time and figure out like how is he holding his body and whatnot. Oh, I got a ding. Better get with Garns. Garns usually the only one that dings me during the show. Well, it was old Danny reaching out to me. Quick Master himself. I tell you, it must be nice to be living on that Nestle Quick. I kind of hate this thing that I stuck him in because it's so awkward to have to draw. And I didn't think about how long I was going to have to draw him in this containment suit that he's locked up in when I wrote it. It only took me, a couple of hours to write it all. It's taken a couple of months to get the books out. And he's still in the freaking suit. I forgot I could turn on music on this sucker. Really don't think but He says he never ding. He uses his butler's dinger. That's for cards. Yeah, I had to put on something, man. I can't work in the silence. It drives me nuts. I'm usually listening to music all day, but copyrights and lazy artists want to get paid for their stuff over and over again. Can't just do it for the love of it. Make money on it. Get rich. Lazy artists. That's what I'm saying, man. Lazy, good for nothing, lollygagging. You know you have to know good if you're gagging lollies. Yeah, I can't stay on here too late today because I got to get off and that's what she said. Now I got to get off of here early and go get my son from band. And go to the post office and drop all this stuff off because if I lollygag, I will miss my shot to get to the post office because they close down in small town Arkansas. And they open back up after lunch. But if I'm being honest, I'm not going to make it in time. By the time I get back home and I make lunch and whatnot, I gotta say, I do appreciate having Vito on as my editor this time, just because I'm trying to take some pressure off of Lori because I know she's got enough on her plate right now. Lori's my go-to gal, but she's got so much going on, and I don't want to be the one adding to her stress load right now. She's my friend, and I don't want to do that to my friends. But having Vito on there, like, he's not afraid to tell me, and I asked him, too. But getting somebody that'll be honest with you and be like, yeah, I mean, it looks cool, but I have no idea what that alien's doing in that scene. And, like, part of it's that, their bodies don't work like our bodies and their hands don't work like our hands. But it just wasn't clear to him in one scene what was going on. And when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I kind of thought that might be a problem. I thought I had fixed it. I thought I'd addressed it. But that's not going to work as is. Wish it would, but it won't. So I'm going to have to enlarge it. I'm going to have to make it a little bit more large, put it a little bit more in charge. 'Cause that ain't working. There's not enough room in that panel to see what's happening. You can see his reaction. You can't see what he's reacting to. Yeah, me too. Um, but anyway, he wasn't afraid to call me out and be like, hey, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what's going on in that panel. And that's what I've been wanting somebody to do. Because, I can't tell what doesn't make sense to somebody. I drew it. I know what's going on. The mistakes aren't as obvious to me as they are to somebody else on the outside that doesn't have the whole story going through their head like I do. It didn't create the thing. That's the whole point of getting an outside eye on it. And so anyway, I appreciated him being straight with me and saying that he didn't get what was going on there. And the more I looked at it, the more I realized, like, yeah, I'm disappointed. Definitely disappointed that it didn't make sense because I tried to make it clear by the shapes and everything that you would understand that, like, his one hand was still over here where it was a second ago in the last scene. But when I colored the handle that the guy was holding, it looked good in the first scene. In the second scene, it got lost with the background. And I kind of knew it was getting lost in the background, but I didn't think it was going to be a problem because I knew what it was. And to hear that it was a problem pointed out that, well, just because, like, in my head that's the color it's supposed to be, doesn't mean that's the color it has to be. I could make it red or bright yellow or green or something, make that handle stand out so it's really clear this is the only thing that's purple in the scene, and it's the only thing that's purple in the next panel. It's the same handle. instead of making it a color that got lost. All right, now we got him whipping bulging eye. We got him whipping tongueless. Yeah, let me look at this because I'm supposed to have second in command show up and start shooting at him. Trying to think now, there's not really any other 2 pages I could condense together. If I needed to add a page, it's not the end of the world. Got some extra room for fan art and stuff. I could take one of those out. Mm. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking this fight needs one more page. And then, let's see, this is page 6, so that would be page 7. And then when the page turns, you would see, okay, yeah, that's going to work out better. That's going to work out better if I add a page in here in the middle. So, so I can have the first mate charging here in this scene and show that he's running this way towards him and then have him show up in the next page. That'll work good. And he's probably real cocky here too, because he can hear the monsters howling and thinks that they're just tearing him up, not realizing that they're the ones getting tore up. Really cool, guys. He's just trying to kiss up to old Danny. Danny will like me if I say, bro. Y'all sure seem to have a lot of fun on your show. All right. That's it for now. I liked purple before Danny did. I just didn't make him my entire person. Quick's all about the brand. And I gotta give him that. Purple's an easier branding than, like, say, like, for instance, if he wraps all his packages in purple tape, well, you know it's coming from Danny because it's purple. Ace Blade's purple. There you go. But, like, Charlie got to get that specially made spider squirrel tape so that it comes off looking spider squirrel. Because you can't just do blue and have it, oh, well, that's obvious. No, it's not obviously spider squirrel. Like Danny has made purple, obviously, Ace Blade. Though I got to admit, that spider squirrel tape is badass. Oh, we do. We have fun. And Tony and Ryan, and Fee are some of my best friends, which is weird because, like, when he first asked me on the show on the first episode, he was still in that category of a client. Like, he was a friendly client that I talked to a lot, but he was still a client, We became friends hanging out on the show all the time. And, that's one thing I'm grateful for about the show is, like, I made another actual, like, real friend that, I can just call up and ask questions and talk to. And I ended up talking to Tony a lot of times more often than I talk to my wife some days. But anyway, now I'm talking to Kyron and J-Man and Katie more than I talk to my wife some days. Save again. I don't lose it. Because I've been losing some files here lately. I've been losing a lot of files. I've been losing some important files. Like in my OneDrive, a whole bunch of stuff got sent to the trash several times, and I don't know how it happened. Some of it had already expired and I lost it. Some of it I managed to get back. But I went to go look for some of the early files on I went to go look for some of the old pages of Green Zone, and all of my Clip Studio files for the Green Zone pages were gone. I don't know how the hell that happened. I didn't do that. I know a bunch of stuff that I was backing up to a thumb drive to make sure I had it actual on physical media here at the house so I could clear off room on my OneDrive. I moved it over to the thumb drive, and then once I cleared it off OneDrive, all of a sudden the stuff on the thumb drive was corrupted and I couldn't get to it. And that pissed me off. But that was mostly all older stuff from like 2020, 2021, not really recent stuff. But then all of a sudden I went to look last night for some of those little Green Zone pages and they were gone. And I don't know, I got a couple other backups I can look at to see if I've got copies somewhere. But they could just be gone. And that's got me scared. I talk to you, Dan. I talk to my wife every day. Something like that. 6, 7. I want to kind of copy that. Feeling over here. I think it's similar, but not the same. Okay, Kyron. Since you're here and we're conversating, I'm gonna let you decide how the next step in this book goes. All right. I got a panel or two to figure this out. We got two beasts that he's fighting. One has a blackened eye, the other is missing its tongue. That he now has wrapped around his arm as a spiked whip that he's beating him with. On the top panel, I figured I would have him like over his head with it, blood splattering everywhere. Um, he needs to beat these two things into submission so that when the first mate gets there and sees that he's just beat his beasts to death with their own tongue, he starts firing wildly at him and ends up hitting the hyperdrive in this room. Um, so, what are we going to do? We've only got like a couple of panels to work with here to figure this out. Do we show him swinging it over his head and then just have him standing in front of the like beaten carcasses of these beasts with the bones sticking out, and then have in a bloody pool with the hyperdrive behind him, and then have the guy run in and we just have him beat? Or do we need to make it more complicated and have one of the beasts like lunge at him and he like rips their jaw open or something? Like, what do you think, Kyron? It would be easier to just have him swinging it over his head and then just show their bloody carcasses and be done and get on to the next stage. But repeat one more time. Okay. Either now, I was planning on this first panel would be him swinging the spiked tongue whip over his head and blood splattering everywhere, like he's just crack, crack, crack with it. Um, Now I got to decide what am I going to do, because by the end of the page, I need to have lunging beast with jaw ripping. Okay, there you go. That There we go. That does it. That does is what we need to know. All right, let's see if we can fit that in here. See, this is where that stupid contraption that I put him in is frustrating, because, man, it makes this difficult to draw and difficult to do what I want to do with it. I'm always down to overcomplicate things, Karen said. That's what I like about it. I will probably never draw KAAW's nose again as much as I've drawn it in these books. If I hadn't written the whole thing so fast, I would have thought about it and started the book a hair earlier. But that's why people like Kyron say hindsight's 2020. Not just because he likes looking at people's hinds. Yeah, because it's easy to go back and say, hey, you could have done this. I would have been a touch better if I'd done it that way. I could have shown off more of who he was on his homeworld. But I'm also always kind of enjoy to jump in the middle of the story and figure it out as you go, kind of thing. I can't even tell you how many times I started a role playing game that way, and somebody just wakes up on an exam room table somewhere and has no idea how they got there. And some of these definitely need flesh swinging from them. No, not that time. This time, they need to be coming straight out from him. That's not gonna work. That's not good enough. That is not good enough for the chick Kyron dates. There we go. Just wasn't looking right. It was bugging me. Well, I'm getting close on that hour mark, which means it's getting close to 11, which means it's getting close to me having to leave and go to the post office. Let me see if I can at least sketch out what I'm. I'm gonna have the one dead. Have some bones sticking out and whatnot where it's been just shredded. And then have the other one charging. I'm putting a handle on the wall because that shows where they were earlier when he killed that other guy, because that other guy was holding on to that handle. And so that kind of remind us that we're still in the hyperdrive room. Hmm. Let's lot. Yep. A lot less talkative. I'm really trying to hurry up and get something done. So I apologize for that. Yeah. Kind of had a brain fart there for a second as I was trying to talk. Bloody carcass of the alien in front of him. And then back here in the back. All right. Well, we got 2.5 pages penciled. Not the tightest pencils on that one, but it's going to have to do for what I got right now because I got to get to the post office before they close. So, anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, man. I appreciate it. Gonna save that before I lose it. And I'm gonna get out of here and run to the post office, man. Thanks for helping me get all that stuff hooked up and get it working. And it was, man. I should have just sent you the link so we could just hang out. Anyway, I'll see you Tuesday, and I'll see y'all Friday. Peace out.
Hello, everybody. It is your Uncle Fish back again for School Fish Art Stream. I